Билет первый. Первый вопрос. What does social linguistics study? Social linguistics is concerned with investigating the relationship between language and society, with the goal being a better understanding of a structure of language. Social linguistics can show us the humorous reality of human speech and how dialect of given language can describe the age, sex, and the social class of speaker. So the way people talk is influenced by social context in which they are talking. We talk differently to our parents, friends, or bosses. So language served a range of functions. We use language to ask for and give people information, also use it to express the annoyance and indignation, as well as admiration and respect. So social linguistics then is part of linguistics, which is concerned with language as a social and cultural phenomenon. Второй вопрос. Language planning. When social linguistics started to be involved in the 50s and 60s, they preferred the term language planning as the term for any effort to modify a language form or use. In the late 80s, the legal failure of national planning activities seems to have encouraged the more neutral seeming term language policy. Exactly where these activities arise depends mostly on the perceived language situation of the social organization involved. For instance, in a situation where there seem to be two or more languages available, any attempt to set up more norms or rules for when to use each is what is called status planning. Once a language has been fixed as appropriate for use in a specific situation, any effort to fix or modify its structure is called corpus planning. A language status decision often produces a situation that some people need to learn language they do not normally speak. In Finland, for instance, the decision to recognize both Finnish and Swedish as official languages means that Finns must learn Finnish and Finnish, sometimes called language acquisition planning. This process, when education policy is also involved when government decides which foreign languages are to be taught in school and through other means. Третье задание, the first one in A. In conversation with his mother, Ray uses phrases and words such as hi, yeah, bastard, and oh. And in conversation with his boss, he uses sir or Mr. and Mr. The second one, B. I greeted my school principal with the words good afternoon and use her first name and middle name. Also, I used to my father or uncle just hello or hi, and the same words I used to my best friends. Билет 13. Первый вопрос. interaction. There are any features of interaction that differentiate the talk of women and men. We shall consider interrupting behavior and conversational feedback. According to special research, in some gender interactions and interruptions were pretty evenly distributed between speakers. In cross-gender interactions, almost all the interruptions were from males. In exchange between parents and children, fathers did most of the interrupting, and daughters were interrupted most, both by their fathers and mothers. And the study of preschoolers found that some boys start practicing this strategy for dominating the talk at a very early age. Women are independently socialized from early childhood to expect interrupted. Второй вопрос. Lingua franca. Lingua franca is a language used for communication between people with first languages differ. In some countries, the most useful and widely used lingua franca is an official language or the national language. In Tanzania, for instance, Swahili is a language people tend to choose first when they are speaking to someone from a different tribal group. In multilingual communities, lingua franca are so useful. They may eventually displace the vernaculars. So when people from different ethnic groups marry in Tanzania or Papua New Guinea, they often use lingua franca of their area as a language of the home. And in very children, they may learn very little of their fathers or mothers' vernaculars. There have been many successful attempts to create a language for communication between people who use different languages. Третье задание. The term Creole comes from French, which is cognate with the Spanish and Portuguese, all coming from Latin. The specific sense of the term was coined in the 16th and 17th century. During the Great Expansion, European maritime power and trade that led to the establishment of European colonies in other continents. The term pigeon comes in 1876 from Pidgin English, the reduced form of the language used in China for communication with the Europeans. Itself, a pidgin word representing Chinese pronunciation of business meaning extended 1891 to any simplified language. Третье задание. A list of words divides people up according to their social background. So upper class use word sofa, and non-upper class use set. Upper class use word tight, and non-upper class they say drunk. Also beastly for upper class, and horrible for non-upper class. Upper class use word lounge, and non-upper class use sitting room. As for upper class, they use face, and non-upper class use stylus. Also, the word lavatory, this word use upper class, and toilet use non-upper class.